Namaskar. The question is what to do in the situation when someone is praising you. Normally, most of us we like to hear the words of appreciation. We feel inner happiness. We are respected, we are accepted, we are recognized. It is nice. Some people feel awkward. They feel, oh, those are nice words, but do I have the right to accept them? Shouldn't I be more humble? And then there may be many complexes surfacing in that situation. So let us try and figure out the harmonious external response to that situation, and also what should be our inner response. What should be proper spiritual response? I see among so many spiritual seekers this tendency. Like in the philosophy we learned that whatever good is going on in myself is the grace of the cosmic consciousness. And philosophically it is very correct, because when the Supreme Consciousness reflects within my mind, then it generates the higher tendencies. It inspires the higher tendencies of the mind, such as braveness, such as generosity, purity, kindness, and so on and so on and so on. So philosophically speaking, whatever good is in me, it is the grace of the cosmic consciousness. Actually, whatever bad is also, everything that exists is the expression of Supreme Consciousness. Some expressions are cruder and they are further away from the original form. And some expressions are subtler, they are closer to the original form. So that is why we believe that our goodness comes from the Supreme Consciousness. And our crudeness is also metamorphosed of Supreme Consciousness, distorted form of consciousness. But still it is consciousness. So we tend to attribute, especially those people who study the spiritual philosophy, those people who practice the spiritual practice, we attribute our goodness to the Supreme Consciousness. Sometimes it is a sincere attribution, sometimes it is just in the mind. Sometimes I really feel I have done nothing. What are you praising me for? And sometimes internally I feel, yes, can you repeat it once again? But externally I will say, oh, no. This is the grace of God. This is the grace of the Supreme Consciousness. I don't know whether I am right or wrong here. I'm just expressing my personal opinion. I don't find this response is always harmonious. When someone is praising you, if you find those words sincere, and when you find it is not a flattery, it is just a sincere words of appreciations, then you try to appreciate that person also sincerely. Oh, thank you, you are so kind. And when the person hears that, he will be happy. So, when you are happy, he is happy, then everybody is happy. And when we try to create a stumbling blocks on the way of that happiness, oh no, this is not my, this credit is not mine, this is the credit of Supreme Consciousness, but internally you feel, oh really, I have done very well. I think this is called false humility. I would say rather it is more harmonious to say, oh, thank you very much, you are very kind. You are very kind. But if you really start to accept those words of appreciation as your own, then a very serious danger is created on the spiritual path. Because little by little, we will start to feel a special importance. I'm something special. I'm something unique. And yes, you are something very, very special. You are unique. Sambhuti, the unique creation of the Supreme Consciousness. You are a unique jewel. You don't know, because you have not studied enough your soul, your mind. But if you study, if you explore your inner mind, you'll find that yes, you are a jewel, you are unique. But that uniqueness is not something, it has nothing to do with your ego, because ego kills that uniqueness. That uniqueness, that beauty, is the consciousness within that comes out only after a lengthy process of disciplining of your mind. You discipline your mind, you contain your ego, and that uniqueness, that beauty surfaces. But if the ego steals all those appreciations, all those credits, the ego will grow and it will block the beauty within ourselves. So it is counterproductive. Slowly, slowly, when I start to believe in my uniqueness, that I am as an ego, not I am as a consciousness, but I am as an ego, as an individual cage of personality. I'm unique, I'm special. Then I'm creating a stumbling block on the way of spirituality, on the path of spirituality. Spirituality is based on samatha bhava. Samatha bhava means the feeling of sameness. You will find out that the beginners in the practice, they will feel very special. But the advanced practitioners, they will feel very usual. I am not anything special. I am the most average person of all. And in that averageness lies their greatness. They are feeling truly humble. That true humility is a very rare quality. How to maintain that quality? It is good to say good words to other people. When we say something good to someone, it empowers that person. Not flattery. Flattery is it destroys the dignity of the one speaking and the one listening. But sincere words, you look at the person and you find always something good is there. And then you point that out. Oh, you are so responsible. Person will feel, oh yes, I'm so responsible. He will try to be again more and more responsible. But when we receive such words, also there is a possibility. There is this movement between imbalanced states of the mind. There are millions of states of imbalance, and there is only one state of balance. So we try to catch that state. So one state of imbalance is inferiority complex. Oh, I'm unworthy, I'm unable, I cannot do. There are great people, great personalities, and I'm such a... But that person actually, if given the opportunity, he will like very much to feel great person. And then another extreme, to feel superiority. I'm special, I'm better than others. But spirituality is based on samatha bhava, the feeling of sameness. No, I'm same. I'm just like everybody. There is nothing special in me. What's special? Whatever special is there is universal. That supreme consciousness I have done nothing. Even if I've done great things, but I don't feel I have done. I was just lucky. The Supreme Consciousness spoke through me. The Supreme Consciousness did through me. Like that. That is the true humility. And that is the state of balance. So we try to catch that state of balance. So when someone is praising me, what should I do? Externally, I may act according to the situation. It is sometimes also good to say, yes, it is grace of God. And with some people it is harmonious, because it conveys their real feeling. I just recently had an opportunity to have satsang or company with a spiritual person. And then, I'm genuinely appreciating his qualities. And I would say, wow. And he say, grace of God. And I know this is his real meaning. He is not making anything up. In one way you can say also, fake it until you make it. You say it so many times that you convince yourself that, yes, grace of God. But also some time to time, when there is a proper environment, when people don't know philosophy, they don't have this, they're not in that field of those concepts. You can say, thank you very much, you're so kind to me. But what should you do internally? Internally, you need to somehow avoid, like the bullet is flying, the arrow is flying, someone has shot the arrow, and you need to pass it by. Let it pass, let it go. Internally, you need to feel that, oh, now someone is praising the Supreme Entity. It is not me who is being praised, it is the Supreme Entity. Don't say, no, 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 no. People are saying, you are great. Don't say, no, 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 I'm not great. Just keep quiet or say thank you. But internally feel that, oh, Supreme Consciousness, someone is, oh God, someone is saying that you are great. They finding you within me and they're praising you. So in this way, you're not feeling, your little ego doesn't steal those accomplishments. There is a story about a donkey and the artisan. The artisan has made a sculpture of some Hindu deity. Let's say it was a statue of Ganesha. And it became so beautiful. He was so skillful. So he created really the piece of art. Then he had a donkey, so he loaded the donkey with this statue, and he started to move to the marketplace to sell that statue. And he was passing by several villages. In the first village, somebody noticed this statue, and everybody came to see. Oh wow, such a marvelous piece of work. And they stood, in awe. The people stood before the donkey, just like this. And donkey felt very good. He thought, wow, I'm being appreciated. Then, in the next village, the word spread out. And so many people came to see. They came to see, they sang some mantras, they sang some songs of devotion. They offered some fruits, and donkey also got to eat some fruits. Then next came the village where there was a marketplace. So the artisan, he let the donkey be free, he took the statue and he went to sell. So, but by that time donkey already felt that he's so special, donkey. Out of all so many donkeys in the history, he's really the one. So he's trying to share his greatness with the people. But somehow nobody pays attention. So he thought, oh, those ignorant fools, they, cannot just see things for what they are. Let me help them. So he went to the temple and he sat there in the temple. And people were kind, they didn't chase him away. So, okay, donkey is here, no problem. But donkey felt that, oh, nobody really sees. They are ignorant fools. Let me help them. So he jumped on the altar, on the stage. At that time, people took the sticks and they chased him away. So we should not become like that donkey. We should not feel that it is mine. Sometimes we also get to eat the fruits. But we should feel that this is really the grace of the Supreme Entity. It comes through us. It is not mine. It is coming through us. Actually, the people of highly developed minds, they arrive to these conclusions. Scientists, artists, musicians, they say, it is not my invention. It just came to me. It came through me. So I cannot claim it as my own. One story I liked very much. It happened with one monk. The person became a monk, a sannyasi, and in India they respect sannyasis very much. If you have given your life to the spiritual mission, you receive a lot of respect from people. So I also saw that devotion, that respect in the people. They will come and they touch your feet. This is the gesture of respect, deep respect. And also people sometimes think that, oh, by touching the feet I will get some blessing. So that person, he was very young, like 18 years old, 18, 19 years old, and he became Dada. He became a monk, and people started to touch his feet. Sometimes even elderly people, like 70 years old, they will come and touch the feet. So he felt very awkward. Then he came to our Guru, who had immense spiritual power, who had immense knowledge. And he told him, I'm just a boy, but people, I'm wearing these clothes. And out of respect to that clothes, people are coming and touching my feet. What should I do? And Guru responded. He said, you take care of your head, and I will take care of your feet. It means your feet will be magical. If they touch, they will get my blessing. They will get that spiritual power. You will be the conduit of the spiritual power. But you take care of your head. Don't think they are touching your feet. Think they are touching the feet of the Supreme Consciousness. This is such a beautiful story. And it's so applicable. We can apply it in all situations of life. You are a doctor, and somehow your patient got cured. It is a miracle. It's really a miracle. Always. Every time. Even the simplest things. How the body works. It's not your pill cures. It's a wondrous work of the nature, of the universe, and the grace of God also. So be grateful that the God has done the miracle. And you have been a media, you have been instrumental. Such a wonderful thing. You have been a part of something great. Don't attribute that credit to yourself, that achievement to yourself. Feel that I was a part of wonder. And then you are an engineer, you happen to invent something new. It is a miracle, such a wondrous thing. First of all, it is a miracle that in your head there is so much knowledge. You got an opportunity to study. You got a desire to study. That desire is also a miracle. You got the parents who infused you with that desire. Is it not a miracle that you got such a parents or you got such an environment. So we should feel that we are part of the miracle, we are part of wonder, and that my ego is not a source of that wonder, because it is a deception, it is not true. My ego is just a conduit, an instrument, and in that process the ego also becomes very beautiful. It is not ugly, it is not inimical, it is a beautiful thing that God has created. God has given me the body, God has given me the mind, God has given me the ego, and that ego is in a perfect harmony with the consciousness, with the Supreme Consciousness. So I will conclude. Externally, we should act appropriately, appropriate to the situation. We may thank the person for the words of appreciations, for his faith in us. If someone having faith in me is a great gift, actually. We should actually surround ourselves with the people who believe in us. Even sometimes we are not up to the mark, but people still have faith in us. So we will thank them for that. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your faith. Sometimes we may say, thank you for your faith, grace of God. If appropriate to the circumstances. But internally, we will avoid the errors. Because if you got hit with that error, if a slight poison entered in your mind, I'm special, I'm something better than others, then from that moment there is a sliding down on the spiritual path. Too much ego kills the talent, too much ego kills the genius in you. And that is the degeneration. And we don't want to degenerate, we like to blossom. So these are my thoughts about the situation when someone is praising you. Namaskar.